Interesting, speaking of kind of old guys too, a little bit in the NFL, the Cardinals go out and get Calais Campbell, bringing him back. Their former second-round pick, a guy that is getting ready for his 18th season in the league. That's a lot for quarterbacks. This guy is a D tackle. That's an insane amount. Get him on a pretty friendly deal, $5.5 million. It can go up to, I think it was like 7.5, depending on incentives and stuff like that. I actually kind of like this move for a few reasons. One, the price is good. Two, he's not nearly as productive as he used to be, which, again, he's going to be 39 this year. So, like, give that guy a little bit of a break. But he's available. He played in every game last year. He played in every game the year before that. Now, this is his fourth team in 4 years, and normally there's a reason teams are willing to kind of move off of you. But the main reason I like this deal for Arizona is, one, it addresses the position of need. Everybody knows that the Cardinals' D-line was not cutting it. They tried to address it a little bit mid-season last year. It wasn't going to work. But they knew they had to go out and get somebody, add some pieces, because running it back as it was not an option, or isn't an option. But bigger than that, this is a guy, again, who's going into his 18th season. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, all right? He's had so much success in this league, and granted, it's been a while since he's been kind of at the top of his game. He hasn't had 7 sacks since 2018. But the wealth of knowledge that he can bring to that room, and this is the key point, Arizona still has that first-round pick. Probably, and should, in my opinion, still take a D lineman somewhere in there. And now that guy can learn under the wings and learn from somebody who's had a Hall of Fame type career in the NFL. You bring him in on a 1-year deal and you say, hey, like, what you can give us on the field, what kind of stats you can provide, that's all extra. What we really need out of you is to mentor this guy, is to help coach this guy and how to be a pro, to show him and to give him all the knowledge that you've gotten over the last 20 years, basically, and help him develop as much as he can this year. That's what we really need out of you. And then, go out there, and if you can get us 5 sacks this year, if you can just get us 30 tackles, that's great. That is a thing that is well worth the investment of $5.5 million, because he has as much experience and knowledge as anybody in the NFL when it comes to that position. Gives him a little bit of depth, gives him a guy that's going to get reps, and it'll be able to kind of, take snaps you can put out there and have confidence in. But just the leadership and the experience that he's going to bring to a group that's going to be very young this year, because they're going to probably go out. I wouldn't be surprised if they got 2 or 3 D linemen in this year's draft. Like, they're going to have to get a bunch of guys on that room. But to add that veteran presence in there, incredible, phenomenal get for them. And it's also just cool and poetic to have him come back and kind of finish out his career here after he spent so many of his seasons, his first 9 years, were in Arizona. So that'll be fun to kind of watch. This will probably be his last contract, close to it, I would think. But to finish up his career where it started, to kind of help this franchise kind of usher in the new wave, really, really cool. And I think it'll be very helpful for him this year. They need that.